Alright, this is day 2 with the L100 Bi-Copter, and I did a previous video doing an unboxing and first flights, and this is going to be a full review. I will just go over the drone real quick again. So this is a Bi-Copter. It only has 2 motors as opposed to 4 in a traditional drone. There's only one other quad that's out there that does that, and it's almost $2,000. This one is less than $200, so it is a lot cheaper. With that, you can tell that the gimbal is a little cheap. You can see the wires here. You can see the camera. Everything's plastic. It's a 2.7K camera with EIS. So even though it's cheap plastic and everything else, if it does the job and does what it needs to do, I don't really care about that when it comes to the inexpensive drones. So it does have a light at the bottom, and this is an optical flow. And here you have your SD card slot, your brushless motors, and your folding props. And here's the battery that comes with it. It is a 1800 milliamp hour 7.7 volt battery, and I got the one that came with 2. And it's supposed to be able to fly for about 25 minutes, and it's supposed to have a 3,000 meter range on the control, and that's fine, but the Wi-Fi is not via your controller. The Wi-Fi is through your phone, so you're limited to how far your phone can go with it. So it doesn't really matter how far the drone can go with your controller. You're still limited by your FPV coming from your phone. The good thing about the battery is it does charge via USB-C, and the controller charges via micro USB. Okay, we'll go over the controller. There's not much to it. It does, like I said before, have a little rubbery feel to it. It's the same controller that there was in a previous drone that I did review. You have your GPS on and off. You have your regular and sport mode here, on-off button. This is your return home. One button here does compass calibration, and then you press and hold, and it does an emergency stop. Here's your camera, and this one turns your gimbal up and down, and this one has something to do with tuning, it said in the manual, but I'm not sure what it does. Alright, let's go ahead and get in here. Just hold it. There's the lights in the back. Go ahead and turn this on. Or it's connected, but the camera's not going to move yet. I believe not until it gets a GPS signal. Let's go ahead and move back. So there's the app. We're into it. So looking here, it's a 2.7K camera, and photos and videos you can't change your settings on them at all, and you can do time lapse. And there's all kinds of things you can do down here to change the video. You want to make it look a little better, or just want to play with some of the different things you can do. Have at it. Okay, this here does a zoom. It's a digital zoom. Down here at the bottom right. Go ahead and zoom out. Everything's in meters per second. So if you're in the US, just know everything's in meters. You have your GPS satellites, flight log, your signal strength, your battery, and in here you can change your circle radius. You got to do that before you take off and try to do a circle. You can do your calibration, firmware upgrade, last one. Maybe I'll try to do that another time. And you can format your SD card. And you can change your preview screen from full to 16 by, or 9 by 16. We'll see what that looks like. Or 3x4. So you get it. If you want full screen, just go ahead and put it to full, and you're ready to go. Let's go ahead and hit this microphone. We'll turn it on and see if that does anything. Now when we're going, I think it might record my voice over the video through the phone. We'll see. Return to home, take off, and here are your special functions. You can do like a reverse lens, Um, 3D stereo, lets you put the goggles on. Multi-point flight, you can do here. Follow, surround flight, which is circle. You can do signs with your hands, peace sign and stuff like that. I don't mess with all that. Camera adjust, which is good to have. You can move your gimbal up and down via your phone. And that's pretty much, let's see what rocker. You can put rockers on. Let's take camera adjust off. And we'll take stereo off. We'll try that rocker again. That didn't do anything. So we'll leave that off. Find my drone. And one thing I will show you is if I go here and try to look at the maps and go in there and go satellite. So I preloaded it. What you might have to do is disconnect your Wi-Fi if you're on an Android. Disconnect the Wi-Fi from the phone, run this app, get into the map screen, let it load up, and then go back in. I think mine was already preloaded so you get to see it. But if you're having issues, go ahead and, like I said, take your Wi-Fi off, go back into this screen, let the map load, and then turn Wi-Fi on and get back into it. Alright, so I'm not going to be flying too far away from around here, so I'll just leave this map there, and we are ready to go. So I'll go ahead and set it to video and hit record. And I want to show you these motors spinning up. And notice my gimbal works now. Once I got all my satellites and everything, then the gimbal works. And one thing about this, it doesn't have anything at the bottom to kind of give it a wider stance. So if you go to land it, chances are it's going to tip over. So if you can hand land it, or if you can hand catch it, I would suggest trying to do that. Let's go ahead and watch it in action. Let's go over here away from the sun. There we go. And I'll hit this button here and watch the servos on the motor. Turn the motors back. Well, I'll turn out. Initializing. And then it starts up. Let's go ahead and get it out in front. Again, I'll let you see it just like we did yesterday. And my video is recording so you can see even when it's moving like this, up and down, it'll let you see how stable or not the video is. I'll let you look at it from the side. We'll get it real close. Move it forward and back, forward and back. And it seems to be a little slow on the inputs, and I think that's by design. You don't want it to jerk back and forth when it's trying to start and stop. So it kind of eases into a stop and eases into a start. See that if I pull back, let go, it kind of eases into it. Same thing with forward. Let's go ahead and go into the sport at speed 2. It's not much faster. I bet if I take it off of GPS, it'll probably be a lot faster. And to take it off of GPS, so it does have a barometer in there, and when it's windy, I think it's getting up under there and affecting the barometer. That's why it's going up and down like that. Let's go ahead and take it off of GPS. It is a little faster. Bring it back towards me. And let's go out of. Okay, now we're in the first speed. You can see the first speed does seem to be a lot slower than the speed we just had. So I would use this one for filming, or if you're trying to get a nice smooth shot. But if you're out here and you're up in the air and it's windy, I'd go ahead and kick it into sport mode. So I'll go ahead and do that. Put GPS back on. GPS is back on. And I'm in sport mode. And I'm recording video. So let's turn it around towards me. There we go. And I'll go ahead and turn this way. And that's about the slowest that you can move it in sport mode. Let's go ahead and put the regular standard normal mode. Let's see how slow we can go to the side. So if I go any less, just let me go nice and slow. If I wanted to do like a trucking shot like that. But the problem is when you go to do, like if you wanted to do a turn this way to catch something, and I'm turning, it hasn't, and then it just turns all of a sudden. So it doesn't ease into your turns left and right. I'll do it again. I'm barely pushing the sticks. Nothing's happening. Barely pushing, nothing's happening. Same thing. Same thing. Still pushing it. And then all of a sudden it just goes. So there's no way adjusting it on this drone to give you a nice, smooth pan. I mean, you get what you get. Let's go ahead and scoot it back and take some pictures. I don't want to get it too high. We'll tilt the gimbal wheel down. And we'll take it off of video. Hit the photos button. There we go. So the wind seems to die down. Feeling a little brave. Let's go ahead and get it up over the trees. Make sure I'm in 2. That's 2. That's 1. That's 2. And I'm in GPS on. Just making sure before I take off away from the house. Go ahead and go forward this way just to see how fast it goes. The wind's blowing it right now. Turn it around. We'll go full sticks this way. .5. Okay, we'll turn around. I'll record video at the same time. That's a picture. Turn it around. We'll try 2 different directions, just in case the wind was hitting it that way. And I didn't do anything. That's how much. If you saw that, it just drifted from over here to over there, and now it's going back to where it should have been. And again, I'm not doing anything. Okay, we'll go full sticks forward again. Let's see what we got up to. About 4. I think we got up about 4.5 this way. That's about 4.3. Turn it around one more time this way. Just seeing how fast it goes. It got up to 6. Seems to settle in around 4.5, 5, almost 5 meters per second. So we'll go over this way a little. We'll try to go up some. So here's Into the Sun, the video. And notice my horizon is pretty straight, but if I go out of video and then the photos and tilt my gimbal down, my horizon's still straight across. But if I take a picture, When it saves the picture, it shows the fisheye. And I'll do that again. I'll tilt down here, go back this way, and me just turning it around, it wanted to shoot off to the left. And now it's all the way up here, and we'll see where it wants to settle in at. It might go back where it should be. It's here, I'm not moving it, and it's still moving that way. So now that it's settled down, it's going back to where I told it to turn around before. So I think these are all safety measures for those two motors. Let's go up some. Just, uh-oh. Hit a tree. Come on, Pops. If I get this thing, it'll be a first. I still hear it going. Oh, no way. Look at that, right in the middle of the trees. Uh-oh, go left. Uh-oh. See if I can get this out of there. No, let's bring it down. Let's try to bring it down towards me. Let's go up here and hand catch it. Oh, this was fun. Uh-oh. Get back here. I'll just bring it down here and hand catch. Grab it. So somehow I went up, it went too low and came down right in the middle of all these trees. That's the first time that's ever happened. I heard it hit a branch, but it didn't come down and it stayed flying. That's crazy. All right, let's take it back over here and try some more. So as I said before, the barometer in there is causing it to go up and down. So what I might do is put some tape on the bottom of here to try to get some of the wind from going into here and see how that does. Everything still works, gimbal still works. Come on, Sash. Go ahead and take off again. Hit record. Okay. So again, I'm not touching anything and it's creeping that way, and it'll probably come backwards like it did before and actually settle in where I wanted it to. And like I said, I think it's overcompensating for the two motors, so where it doesn't hurry up and stop, that it just keeps on going. But it probably needs to do that a lot earlier. And it does have firmware upgrade on the software, on the app, but who knows if they actually do a firmware update. Most of the cheap drones, they don't. All right, let's try follow me. Pull it back a little. And we'll go into here. and follow. It's a GPS follow. So I'll go ahead and go this way. Dog's going to the bathroom right as soon as I start to film. And notice it's losing altitude. But it is following me. Let's go towards it. See if it scoots back. And it is scooting back. So we had our orbit set for 16 meters. Let's go ahead and cancel follow. It should cancel itself. So I'll try to get up over the trees again. It might not let me. I think it's low battery. Let's go back into here. Let's see, it won't do reverse lens. Won't let me climb anymore. Let's go ahead and go follow. Oh boy. Trouble. Uh-oh, trouble. Well, that's the end of that test. Looks like I broke the arm on it. So, just to recap what happened. First I went over this way, and because of the altitude drops, it actually just dropped down into the tree line. And for some reason, it got right in between trees and didn't crash. I heard it hit a branch, but it actually didn't crash, and I was able to get it back. So I brought it back over here and tried to do some more testing. I believe I hit the follow button, and for some reason it just shot over this way and crashed into the house. Broken arm, and now the camera doesn't work, so it is officially dead. So now I'll give my final thoughts on this. Okay, so although I crashed it and did break the gimbal, pretty much broke the drone itself, what I will say is, if you look at the video quality, if you think that's good, if you look at the picture quality, and I'll put a couple pictures up also, if that looks good, what you get is a Bi-Copter, one of the only ones that they have out there, that actually works. It did work. There are definitely some problems, especially with the barometer in here. It just caused it to just lose altitude too much. You can see to where it actually went into the tree line over there, and maybe it's because of it's a Bi-Copter that it takes a while for it to stop whenever it's trying to turn, or if you want it to change directions, it kind of eases into it and will take a long time to slow down. And then, like, say I wanted to stop here, it'll go way past that and then slow down and then come back to where it wanted to be. So that's another problem. So I would say if you're out in the open, in a nice, very open field, you could fly this with no problems, but you got to keep an eye on it because of the way it bounces up and down and the way it moves all around, left and right. It seemed to be pretty stable, even though the drone jumped all around. The good things I liked about it are the EIS is really good in here when it comes to this drone. A lot of the other drones that have 4 motors, the EIS isn't as good as this one. The camera's not the greatest. It's a 2.7K. You can just look at it and tell it's not going to be a great camera. But the video for this is surprisingly better than a lot of the sub $200 drones out there. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope I got everything out of the way because there'll be no more testing of this one. And we'll see you when I test the next drone. Alright, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.